What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's goal in this video is to turn the wagon on with the turbo kit. So a couple of days ago we did the ARP head studs and we did the MLS head gasket install. Now everything is put back together and the only thing we need to slap on here is the turbo kit, and the reason why I didn't put that on is because I was doing some work to the wastegate. So right here you can see I painted it wrinkle black, the top and the bottom. This used to be gloss and this used to be silver. Now the body of the wastegate, I am going to take it off later to take it over to my buddy Kel's house to get it powder coated black, so that way it is less noticeable. If I could find somebody locally here that can do ceramic coating, maybe I'll ceramic coat it. Sorry about the lighting, guys. We have the tarp finally back up and no rain is going to stop us from working on the car now, finally. This is going to kind of change the lighting a little bit depending on how I point my camera, but we finally have this thing back up after the last one ripped probably over a month ago. So yeah, we're going to continue working on the wagon today, guys, and I got everything I need. I think I have everything I need to finish this car up so we can turn it on at the end of this video. So before I slide this guy down here, I'm going to have to connect my feed line because it is in the back. And my hand's too big to get in between the turbo and the block. Man, does that look good or what? Wrinkle black head of the wastegate. And I almost made a boo-boo. I put the barb on the top right here, and we're not running a boost controller, so that is in the incorrect spot. This has to be naturally pressurized and the bottom one has to be vacuum pressured, so I swapped it over, and I don't like the way this barb sits. I wish I had a banjo, but I don't, and this is what I'm gonna have to deal with. So I might even just permanent marker that black so it's not a sore eye, but we'll worry about all the plumbing a little bit later today. But yeah, manifold, wastegate, turbo in place. Before I put the downpipe on, I am going to go and take off the catalytic converter, the cat, and then we'll put the downpipe and make our test pipe. All right, now we can put our downpipe on and fab up a test pipe. Downpipe hopefully permanently in place. Now let's cut this guy up because we have 3 different sizes, but I'm gonna use this front half right here. So I'm salvaging this 3-bolt flange right here off my test pipe. My test pipe is already missing the front half 2-bolt flange because I used it for a different car. And this is 2 1/2. The whole exhaust system and downpipe of the wagon is 2 1/4. And if you look at the neck, it actually drops down to about 2 1/4 right there. You see how it's like sloped in. And if I just slide this in there, it actually is a perfect fit. So this is my piece to go off the downpipe, and then I need to build a midsection to the 3-bolt which goes to the exhaust system. That's also 3-bolt back there somewhere right there. I've already used all of the 2 1/4 gasket on the exhaust system, so I'm not going to have one from the test pipe to the downpipe. I'm just going to make sure that this is nice and flat, and if it's nice and flat, it shouldn't leak. 2-bolt flange on, 3-bolt flange on, and it looks really short. The exhaust has to go this way a little bit because it only has 1 hanger on. I can't go too much because the shift linkage has a skunk tooth short shifter on it, so the stabilizer bar sits a little lower, and I can't swing the exhaust to the passenger side because it hits. Right? But we have a flex pipe right here, so we can angle this guy whichever direction we need to angle it to point it to this guy. So yeah, guy, this. It doesn't look like we need much, probably 6.5, a little over 6.5, because we can slip into that if we have to. 6, somewhere in 6.5. So yeah, let's figure this out. Shoot, this one's 9. Actually, this might even work. Well, you look at that. Well, that seems to work. I'm gonna bust out the welding machine, tack this up, bring it out, weld it up, and be done with this. Yeah. I'm out of gas. So I kind of just went over the MIG weld with my TIG torch, melted all of the blotchiness just to make sure that all the holes were covered. And this pipe actually goes pretty far down, like about right here, so I'm not worried about it leaking. Yeah, let's get this installed and we're gonna move into the return line. Downpipe, test pipe, exhaust system, done. So I got this fitting the other day with my package from B&R, and this is the dash 10 return flange for regular T3, T4. GT series are different. I covered that in a different video, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and install this. I should have put it on before I put the turbo on, but I didn't think about it. We got the gasket, the flange, and you can use regular Honda 12mm bolts or Allen headed bolts. I'm gonna use these guys. And hopefully, yep, got a second one right there. Houston, we have a problem. This bolt right here is going to be in the way of the dash 10 feed. Dang it. What is going on with these damn crows outside? After moving the compressor housing a couple times, I got the dash 10 to clear this 13mm bolt, and had to use a couple different fittings to figure out which bend I'm going to need. I'm using a 45 and a straight dash 10 line, return line, done. Alright guys, so I am very aware that we don't have a vacuum line for the wastegate to the turbo. I'm trying to get another one that's a little thicker so the heat doesn't like melt the thinner ones, which is what I have. I don't have a vacuum line on the blow valve to any vacuum source. We'll button all that up tomorrow, as well as, like, you know, maybe these stuff right here as well too. But I'm about ready to turn this car on. We have the turbo kit installed, the head gasket and all that all tightened. All of the hoses are back into place. I don't see any leaks with the coolant or the oil underneath the car, so hopefully we don't have it when the car is on. And the battery is in place. We're about ready to crank this thing over for the first time with the turbo kit. I am kind of sketched out, guys, because one, head gasket, head stud. We have to do the timing, and the turbo kit obviously is the new addition to the setup. So this is going to be the first start with everything. But first, we need some battery juice. Wow, this thing is super quiet. Spinny boy on his first maiden voyage of spinning with exhaust fumes. Wow, this thing is super quiet. The only check engine light that will pop up right now is the oxygen sensor, the O2 sensor, because it is not plugged in. I'm gonna let the car warm up, and then I'm gonna check timing. So I had the car running for about 35 minutes. The heater is super hot. The cooling system stopped burping. So I'm gonna wrap it up tonight. I'm gonna clean all my stuff up. We'll continue this tomorrow, and I'm gonna try to button up a few more things here and there, get the vacuum lines and all of that. And then that's pretty much it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The car turned on and everything sounds good. No leaks whatsoever. But yeah, we'll continue tomorrow, guys, and we'll see you in just 1 second. All right, guys, so next day here, and just got back from the parts store. I was going through all of my bins to find this breather can, and this is actually made from Cusco. This was originally in Joe's car, but Joe now has a catch can and 2-10s. This is just a little breather to catch whatever spits out of the valve cover. Like from right here is where I'm going to be you know, porting it to. But I'm looking at this and I'm like, I don't know where to put it. Before we get into that, I also went to the parts store just now and got these vacuum lines. So this is like an emission control, or I think is a fuel. It's a fuel line. And the reason why I got a fuel line is because, one, it is way thicker than your typical vacuum hose, right? Because granted, we are really close to the manifold, the turbo and all that, and I don't want to burn the rubber quickly from the heat of these guys. And this is a 1/4 inch, and I got a 1/4 inch because I had to make sure it fits the blow-off valve banjo, and this guy as well too. So this one's going to be really short from turbo to wastegate because we're not running a boost controller. And then I got enough here for the blow-off valve down there to snake its way, you know, under here and find a vacuum source back there. So I'm going to take measurements right now and we'll cut this up and install it. So with this vacuum line, I'm going to give it extra length because I'm probably going to snake it through this pipe and go straight to the wastegate, so that way it's not like a random vacuum hose just chilling down here. I'd rather have it go through here and keep it a little discreet so you don't really notice it. Perfectly snugged. That's what I like. That does not look discreet at all. But being inside the tube, kind of keeps the vacuum line from slacking onto the manifold. So hopefully this will hold it up away from the manifold so it doesn't melt. And that's that. For the blow-off valve, which is under the battery tray, it's gonna go right in there. And then we're going to snake the vacuum line kind of along the transmission to the back over here somewhere. And I got to find a place to tee it off to. Right? Can't really see that. I got to find a tee and tap into something to give me vacuum. Probably going to tap into this guy right there in the back, away from sight. This T-fitting has an 1/8 on one end, an 1/8 on the other, and a 1/4 inch on the other side. Now the vacuum lines we're using is 2/8 and 1/4 inch. So this fitting is perfect. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put zip ties on every one of these vacuum lines so we don't go popping off our sources here. So to keep everything sleek here in the engine bay, I painted this breather can wrinkle black like everything else in this engine bay, right? So I got everything all put back on. I think I'm gonna mount this under the intake manifold on the subframe. It's hard to see, but there's a little 10 mil threaded bolt down there that I could thread this to, this little bracket right here, and then we can plumb this guy to the valve cover. It is kind of hard to see, but the can is mounted down there on the subframe with a bracket, 110 mil secured. I don't have a filter on this. I don't know what happened to it, but I'm probably gonna get another filter for it later. I did forget at the parts storage today, but yeah, got one of the vacuum hose right there on the other end, which comes up to about right here, and I have to shorten this down. So I did cut off the vent tube right here, right? Because that's not going to anything. I did shorten this one as well, so it goes in there pretty snug. And I have a piece of vacuum line stuck onto this bar because this diameter is a little too big, but it actually slips over as long as I have this vacuum right here. So I'm gonna shorten it down real quick and then get this guy tied in there. You're not really gonna see that because once this guy goes over, right, for an example, you don't even notice it. God dang it. This is what happens when you belly flop over the engine to work in the back. I scratched the top of the wastegate, but not a big deal, guys. I was trying to look online to find like a label that says EGR, to put a sticker on the top of this guy that says, I don't know, EGR something, to throw people off, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna keep searching. I might even make one up just cause. Now the reason why this is still open is because I don't have the power steering bracket, and I don't know where this guy sits just yet to make the dump tube. I want to make sure that it's not going to interfere, is the reason why I haven't done this just yet. The power steering stuff is also one of the reasons why I don't have the bumper on just yet, because the power steering cooler and stuff sits right here. If you guys remember, I did go to the junkyard and get a power steering cooler from the EG, but the cooler is bigger in diameter to the EF one, so the hose is actually a ton bigger, and I don't want to have to try to tighten it down, and you know, it can potentially leak later. So I'm trying to find an EF specific one to have this power steering setup work correctly. And I just now noticed as well that because this is a D15 B2, the pulley is not the correct pulley for the V-belt drive power steering, so I'm gonna have to source that guy as well. So I think that's gonna wrap it up for this video, guys. We made some major progress. The car is practically done. I think in the next video we're gonna try to convert this car to OBD1. Now I don't have a chip for the OBD1, but I'm probably gonna slap my S300, throw a map in it, see if the OBD1 conversion works, and you know, if that's the case, this thing should be ready for the dyno. If the car is ready, I think we might take this car to the dyno at the end of the week. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video update of the budget build sleeper wagon, and if you guys did, be sure to leave a thumbs up, and if you guys want to see this car on the dyno, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.